going on, everybody? Today I will be reviewing the movie Gladiator 2. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I had a great Thanksgiving too, and I finally got a chance to see this movie. So yeah, Gladiator 2. This is a historical action slash adventure film, and it's 2 hours and 30 minutes long. Years after witnessing the death of Maximus at the hands of his uncle, Lucius must enter the Colosseum after the powerful emperors of Rome conquer his home. And the director of this film is Ridley Scott. I like how he used the elements from the first movie to put them in the second movie. I like that. It kind of reminds you of a reboot of the first one, especially in the first half of this movie. But I like it. I like how he did that. It's really decent how he did that, and I like the background that he used in this film too. Great job to Ridley Scott. All right, I'm not going to go over every cast member in this film because there was a lot of cast members, but I'm going to go over the ones that stood out to me. And I'm going to say now, Paul Mescal, he played Lucius in this film, and he played the son of Maximus. And I got to say, in this movie, you will see that he's out for revenge because they killed his wife in this film. So, but to me, his character, he didn't really have a strong presence like Russell Crowe did in the first Gladiator. That's just my opinion about that. And his character was kind of bland to me. I'm like, okay, his character was bland, and it was uninteresting to me to even watch him in this film. But I gotta say, he did an okay job. He didn't do too bad. He did an okay job with his performance, but I was looking for more out of that so I can connect to the character a lot better. But he did a decent job to Paul. And the next character is Denzel Washington. And that is the reason why I saw this movie, because he was in here. But I gotta say, Denzel Washington, he's my top five. He's in my top five for best actors. Always been watching his movies. Always been a big fan of Denzel Washington. But I'm gonna keep it real with this movie. To me, he did not carry the movie to me in this film. I was expecting more from Denzel in this. I mean, but you can tell he was having fun. He was having fun with his character, and he was very manipulative in this film too, which I like. I'm like, wow, he played that pretty decent. But for me, being a Denzel fan and watching all his movies, he had, you know how he gets right into his character. He did a lot better in other movies than this one. But, you know, he did a great job. I mean, it wasn't the best. He did better than the other actors and actresses in this film, but this wasn't his best work. But I still give him props, and I say, hey, he did a decent job in this film, but I was expecting more from him. And the next cast member is Connie Nielsen. She played Lucia's mother in this film, and I gotta say, I admire her performance in this film. I like her range, and I like her emotions in this film. I think she did a great job with that. I think she blew that out the water. It was top tier performance by her. And I gotta say, good job to her. Good job to Connie. Now, I'm gonna go over the lights in this film. The production value was nice. There was moments where you can tell it was CGI, but it was still nice. Lots of action in this film. A lot of fighting scenes. I like that. I think the fighting scenes were more intense than the first Gladiator. So it was, if you watch it. The sound design was amazing, and the choreography was great. And we all know Gladiator as being a fighting movie, but to me, it gets deeper than that. They always go over political views and politics and betrayal. So you will see that all through this movie. And I gotta say, one thing that I like about this movie, I was kind of shocked. I thought, when I was going into the movie theater, I was like, oh man, this movie's gonna be so long. Of course, the first one was long too, but I'm like, man, 2 hours and 30 minutes. But actually, I did not feel the runtime in this movie at all, that was a plus. Great pacing in the movie, great. I was like, okay. And even though they had some slow moments, they still kept you intrigued on what was going on. So I like that. That was very smooth. Great job to them. Now I'm gonna say this. The first Gladiator is way better than the second Gladiator. Yes, it is. Because I felt like the first Gladiator felt more impactful to me. It had more deep character development in the first one than the second one. To me, the second one feels like it's a money grab and a popcorn movie to me. Hate to say that, but it was still an amazing movie. Don't get me wrong. It was still good, but it seemed like the storyline wasn't as strong as the first one. So, but still great job to the second one. Now, what really had me laughing in the movie, what is going on with these sharks in the movie, in the Coliseum? I'm like, how did they even get in there? So, I wish they would have showed that in the movie of how this happened. I'm like, okay, so that was kind of weird. Now, I do like the scenes with the monkeys, whatever you call them, bamboo monkeys, whatever. I like that. That was pretty decent with the fighting scenes with the monkeys. But them sharks, I'm like, what? that kind of threw me off. But hey, it is what it is. Now, let me keep it real with y'all. Even though the movie was pretty decent, it wasn't the best. But to me, they didn't need to make a Gladiator 2 because the first one was so epic, and I enjoyed that one so much. To me, sometimes you don't need to make sequels with movies. Just keep them the way they are. Just keep them as a classic. Because sometimes you can make a part two and a part three, you can mess up the legacy of the movie. So sometimes I'll be like, look, just keep. It should have just been just that Gladiator movie, and that's it. They shouldn't have never made a part two with this. But hey, it was okay. But like I said, this movie was to me kind of overrated. A lot of people were talking about it. It was some hype about it, but to me it was overrated. And to me, this movie was really nothing to brag about. But a good movie to see if you get bored, you want to run to the movie theater, or just wait for it to come out on the platforms. But I'm gonna give this movie. This is tough. I was debating about giving it a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10, but I might have to go with probably a 7 out of 10 with this movie because the performances in the movie was pretty good. Some characters in the movie was bland, but hey, Denzel, like I said, he did an okay job. I expected better from him. Yeah, but besides that, the performance was pretty decent. So yeah, get ready for more movie reviews from me, especially in December. I'm coming out with a lot of movie reviews. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you like. Leave some comments in the section. And I'm going to see y'all soon. All right, I'm out.